It is the Rays and the Marlins tonight. Drew Rasmussen, who beat the Marlins not long ago, takes to the hill in Miami. The Rays look to get back on the winning side of things.
The Citrus Series resumes tonight from sunny South Florida. Since Kevin Cash took the reins for Tampa Bay in 2015, this rivalry has belonged to the Rays.
How about that for a finish?
Posting a dominant 40-17 record against their neighbors from the 305.
It's gone! And the Rays have stunned the Marlins in the ninth inning.
And tonight, the Rays are looking to fillet the fish once again.
And that one's gone!
Rays.
What a night he's having.
Marlins.
We're going home!
State pride on the line from the Magic City.
Rays TV is presented by Union Home Mortgage. Yes, the Rays have come across the state to take on the Marlins after taking 2 of 3 from them in St. Petersburg last month. Let's go down to the field now, and here's Kendra Douglas.
Well, Andy, it's that time of year again, that time to send the Rays to the All-Star game in Philadelphia. And fans can take part of it by contributing in that Phase 1 voting. And here's how fans are going to be able to do it. What you can do is you can vote all June for fans like All-Star Ballot. And you can vote for guys like Yandy Diaz. Now, guys, I spoke with hitting coach Chad Mottola, and I asked if there's still an appreciation for just how special of a hitter Yandy is. And he said he thinks of the rest of baseball is finally catching up. He said players have always known the kind of hitter Yandy is, but now he believes the national media is starting to give him the recognition he earns, which continues to keep him in that all-star conversation. So once again, fans can cast their ballot every single day. Vote Rays today at raysbaseball.com/vote, guys.
Kendra, thank you very much. And right on with what Kendra was saying about Chad Mottola, about Yandy needing and deserving and earning national recognition. And here's the lineup today. The lineup brought to you by Orlando Health. Yandy will hit cleanup. In front of him, it's Chandler Simpson, Junior Caminero, Jonathan Aranda, Yandy fourth, and Palacios and Valade, the lower third of Mullins, Fortes, and Taylor Walls is back in the lineup.
Well, our Suncoast Credit Union starting pitcher here tonight is going to be Ryan Gusto. See what he has done as a Marlin this year, 2 games, and you can see an inning pitched in the first. He had 2 in his last outing against Washington, but Andy, you and I were talking before the game. He was down in AAA in Jacksonville and had been stretched out. Had a few appearances out of the pen down there, but for the most part was a starting pitcher and had been stretched out to 90 pitches. So the Rays not really sure what version are they going to get. Are they going to get an opener followed by Tyler Phillips, or is this going to be a Gusto game and we'll see how effective he can be and how deep he can get?
Kevin Cash said before the game we may have to be a little reactive to what they do. And the first pitch of the game is a called strike.
Because coming in, we thought Tyler Phillips would get the start, and all of a sudden they named Gusto the starter, and because he'd been stretched out of AAA, you're not really sure, so stay tuned.
That's all they could do. Well, they've had to deal with some pitching injuries, most notably lately Yuri Perez, who was on the injured list. So bullpen day tomorrow, it's kind of a mixed bag what you're going to get from the Marlins.
And that's why you wonder, do they let him go maybe a little bit longer than an actual typical opener would? Because tomorrow's a built-in bullpen day. Those tend to wreak havoc. Guys, you got to cover 9 innings. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And like Kevin Cash, said to you, that they might have to be reactive to whatever the Marlins do.
Well, it's 2-2 to Simpson. One thing that would certainly help for the Rays is getting Chandler back on base. Edwards does throw him out. So Chandler retired. The play goes 4-3.
Let's take a look at the rest of that Marlin defense, see how it's going to line up here tonight. In the outfield, left to right, we've got Esteuri Ruiz, Jacob Marcy, and Owen Casey. Across the infield, third to first, Javier Sanoa, Otto Lopez, Xavier Edwards, and Kyle Stowers, with Joe Mack back behind the plate.
All right, Junior Caminero to the number 2 position today. And he's been on base a ton. Was on base a lot during the homestand. Now, he only hit 1 out of the park but he's been drawing walks to the point where he's almost caught Aranda for the team lead in walks.
He has reached base safely in 16 of his last 28 plate appearances.
Hits it well towards the gap and sails over Owen Casey. Extra bases for Caminero. It's a one-out double in the first.
And I'm going to tell you what, we always talk about his bat speed. And because Caminero creates such prolific bat speed, when he barrels a baseball, it jumps off that bat, and this ball just would not come down. This is a line drive into deep right center field that Owen Casey looked like he maybe had a decent angle on, and he just couldn't get there. That ball would not come down. The carry that he got on that liner, the other way, by the way.
Yeah, Casey was moving just to his right and then had to go back for it, as you said.
That's an exit velocity for a guy that on a pulled baseball.
Yeah.
You don't get 109.3 going the other way. Again, that speaks to his special bat speed.
He is special, and he's at second with the two back. And there it is. Nobody better. Nobody higher, at least.
I mean, that is impressive. To go 109 plus the other way. It's not real easy to do.
You know, they should, on that replay, he didn't exactly get it all sweetly on the barrel, too. It was a little bit towards, I don't want to say quite to the trademark, but in other words, he didn't get all of that pitch, and it still went flying out there. What a hitter. 2-1 now to Aranda. And there's a near, this doesn't get all the way on the barrel. Maybe, yeah, I guess maybe it did more than I first thought.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking 109.3 the other way. If that ball's not barreled, then wow.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's funny how it looks a little different from the side view. He did get that thing more to the barrel than I thought. And he's at second. And Aranda's in hitter's count. It's a walk. Kevin Cash has been talking about some early runs needed for this team. They fell behind to the Tigers right away in all three games. And to get a lead on the road, I mean, that's the one advantage you have on the road, right? You get to hit first.
Yeah. Well, that's why you get Junior Caminero up in that two-hole. He doubles the walk to Aranda. That's something to watch, too, because Gusto over, his short career, but a walk rate that probably a little higher than you would like. Same thing with Tyler Phillips if he indeed does come in. And the Rays have been drawing a ton of walks as of late.
Slowly hit towards second. There's one, and safe.
I'll tell you what, I thought that the Marlins were about to turn one heck of a double play up the middle there. They're going to maybe want to take a look at it, at least get the video room to review it and say, leave it alone, let's play ball. So Yandy did beat that out. That would have been a heck of a turn. Second baseman, now you're right here. You're leading Lopez to the bag, step and throw, but Yandy just in time.
Okay, keeps the inning alive.
These two middle infielders here for the Marlins are special.
Oh, they are. As good as any going in the league these days. So now it's up to Richie Palacios.
And not just in the field, by the way. I mean, Otto Lopez leads Major League Baseball on average. Xavier Edwards is a guy that can be a pain, as an on-base guy and runs well, will steal bags.
There they are. They're not getting enough pub these days, but when you play them, they are very, very talented.
I mean, you've got to control them. You're not going to be able to do a whole lot with them defensively. They're going to do their thing out in the field, but you do have to control them as far as offensively. Otto Lopez, again, the leading hitter, and Xavier Edwards with all the stolen bases. And this Marlins team, they like to run. They steal bags at a higher rate than anybody in the game.
2-1. And a challenge.
Did it run off the plate, and was it even up?
Catcher's challenging to call a ball.
Oh, wait for it.
They got a countdown.
Yeah.
For the Marlins, it was worth the wait. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Strike. Miami has 2 challenges remaining.
How close it was.
Man. you like to say, BA, that 1-1 pitch is the most important one in the game.
I mean, think about, if you're in a 2-1 count, now Richie's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. 1 and 2, you got to protect. Pitcher's in charge.
2-2.
Yeah, you get a lot of these different counts, but that's the swing count. 1-1, you've got to make a pitch. And if you do, now all of a sudden you are in complete control. Now you can expand the zone. You fall behind 2-1, gets a little more dicey.
Runners lead at first and third. And the Rays will take the lead. And here they come. Caminero scores. Diaz heads for home, and 3 bases for Richie Palacios. It was hard to tell off the bat whether it was going to drop or not, and the Rays have the early runs.
Well, and here's the thing. Owen Casey put himself in position to make this play, and I think the line drive hit him. It just skipped right off of him and out towards the center field wall. This line drive, is it going to get down? Is it going to get down? Casey makes a play on it, and he actually deflects it towards center field. That ball right off the heel of the glove, off the body, and off it goes.
And the official score gives it a 2-run triple for Richie Palacios, and there's the coveted early lead that the Rays were seeking and not done yet. And Ryan Vilade will try to get Palacios home.
Goes right back to Yandy Diaz hustling up the line, staying out of that double play. Kept the inning alive.
It all matters. And boy, did it here in the first inning. And make it 3-0 Rays. Vilade keeps the line moving. Palacios scores, and the Rays get a crooked number early.
Tell you what, how about what Ryan Vilade is doing? You know, started off the season playing against lefties. Pretty much an exclusive platoon player. Has had some big hits against the righties, and now more playing time for a variety of different reasons. But the bottom line is he continues to be productive. Stays inside that pitch that's kind of up and in, or at least inner half, and shoots it out into right field. And the Rays score run number 3.
And that'll extend it for the 7th place hitting, Cedric Mullins. Max got a really good arm. Vilade back. Well, think of this. Even in making out the lineup today, there would have been no argument if Mesa, a left-hand batter, would have been in there against the right-hander Gusto, but Kevin Cash chose to give Vilade a chance against a right-hand pitcher, and boy, he's making his skipper look good. Hit hard, but right to Edwards. And the inning comes to an end, but the Rays send 7 men to the plate, score 3 times. Yandy Diaz, his biggest hustle, keeps the inning going, and Palacios drives him home, and then he scored. Rays up big early.
Being Vanguard, discipline that delivers.
Tonight's lineup brought to you by Orlando Health, and the Marlins can swing it. Liam Hicks, Otto Lopez, and Kyle Stowers, Xavier Edwards, Javier Sanoja, and Owen Casey, and Jacob Marcy, Joe Mack, and Esteury Ruiz. They're starting 9.
Our Suncoast Credit Union starting pitcher here for the Rays is going to be right-hander Drew Rasmussen, making his 12th start of the season, looking for win number 5. Overall, really good numbers for Drew, coming off of a downer start for him. So, you know, he's looking to bounce back. Just did not have the normal command that you usually see from Drew. Usually commands the ball very well to both sides of the plate. Good at changing speeds, good at changing eye levels. Has an outstanding whip right there, 1.02, just not giving up a lot of base runners.
Walls moving back on that one beautifully for the out.
That's what I love. You talk about the really good infielders, especially the middle infielders that never get a bad hop. That's because they position themselves so well. So right off the bat, Taylor Walls is saying to himself, I can charge and try to short hop, or I know that I've got time to be able to retreat like that to get the nice candy hop and then make the throw over. That instinct of the ball off the bat, and immediately their body tells them what to do. Charge, stay put, or retreat, get a better hop because I know I've got time.
Instinct, but it comes with all of the reps.
That's it. That's absolutely it. That's why those guys are out there every day. No days off. There's Drew's mix.
You know, B.A., go predict this game. Kevin Cash said to me, as we Rays are so happy to have that man back at shortstop, he said, as well as Rasmussen has been pitching, 48 straight games with 4 runs or fewer allowed, and the lion's share of those well under 4 runs. He goes, and the way the data shook out, he should have had a great start against the Angels. Lo and behold, there's a fine line in this game.
Yep. Yeah, and for Drew, it comes down to command. You know, that, and he just did not have his normal command. That's the thing. You know, he holds himself to a really high standard. You've seen he's the type of guy that'll get an out on a pitch that he doesn't feel that he executed very well, and he's not real happy. Happy for the out, but knowing that if I make that mistake again, it might not be an out. It might be an extra base hit, it might be a home run. And so he holds himself to a high standard. He just had one of those starts. You know, you're going to have one of those every now and then.
Flared to left by Stowers, and that is what you call a shutdown inning. A 6-pitch inning for Rasmussen, and the Rays lead at the end of 1.
Well, our 4 keys in this series, Andy, is run prevention. Look what the Rays did at the last series against the Tigers. 25 runs allowed. And what the Marlins did in their sweep of the Nationals, they scored 18 runs in 3 games. So you got to keep them off the board.
Nick Fortes way up into the dome. Edwards makes the catch, 1 out.
And you think about that. I mean, this Marlin offense sweeps the Nationals, averages 6 runs a game. And then you look at what the Rays, what has happened to the pitching staff. You know, they have given up 72 runs over their last 9 games. That's 8 runs a game over a week and a half. They haven't been on a stretch that bad since the Devil Ray days. And that was the last thing you would have expected out of this pitching staff. And I think it's an anomaly.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see anything like that again, but you'd like to see him right the ship tonight.
They've got a lead early, and then just a 6-pitch first by Rasmussen. Yeah, the Marlins also, Kyle Snyder's got to be thrilled at that first inning by Rasmussen. Given up 53 runs in the first inning, by far not only the most in baseball, but the most for them in any inning this year. So they've gotten somewhat used to falling behind in games. And boy, oh boy, you look at the numbers on how good teams are when they score even the single run to start the game. It's by far, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's enormous.
Yeah. Well, we know how that works in the Rays favor.
Yeah.
You know, with their pitching staff, you get an early lead, and all of a sudden you let them start to protect it and allow this other team to, you know, maybe get out of their comfort zone and chase a little more than they normally would, have that success. But you know, that Tiger series was something like I haven't seen in a long time, because it wasn't even the 25 runs given up. Every game started with the leadoff hitter and loud contact, and all of a sudden it was game on. I mean, they really came out and went right after the Rays pitchers, and they happened to have a turn through the rotation where guys weren't as sharp as they normally were.
You know, the Tiger people, when they left town, were saying, you know, this might have saved their season, because they were heading in a very bad direction. We'll see how Detroit does today. They're going to play Seattle for the first time since the postseason last year, but they were getting themselves pretty buried there as Walls goes down. And who knows? We'll find out. You know, they're all that talk about trading Skubal or not. All those decisions have to be made in the next couple of weeks, and the Rays might have thrown them a lifeboat. Well, for the first hit and every hit this season, Suncoast Credit Union donates $79 to local nonprofits. Visit suncoast.com/Rays for more information. Well, you know, BA2 people, it's easy to look at things in such a microscope, but in baseball you always got to zoom out. Yeah, the Rays have lost some ground. They still are in first place in the American League East
with the best record in the American League.
That's exactly right. It is easy to lose track when it feels like the bottom's fallen out, but they hadn't had one of those since the first week of the year.
I mean, listen, you play 162 games of anything, and there are going to be some ebbs and flows and, you know, some ebbs that don't go your way. The key is to shorten. That's the key. You're going to go through a tough stretch, but that's where, you know, you run out a really good starting rotation. You're going to have a guy that's going to stop that. You've got a very versatile offense, which the Rays do. They're going to find a way to score runs and stop that.
haven't sensed an ounce of panic from this Rays team. In fact, it's felt pretty much the same as it was when they were winning all these games, going 22-4. It's been a pretty interesting group, and a group with a perspective. Simpson retired. We go to the home second. Rays up 3.
Playing.
And we welcome you back as the Rays lead this one 3-0 heading to the bottom of the second. Well, Angie and BA, I want to go back to something you guys were talking about the no need for the rush of being worried right now. Well, when you talk with Drew Rasmussen and you hear what he has to say with this clubhouse, he said, yeah, there is no panic. He said, yes, it's a long season, and said that this team has put itself in good position to handle a stretch like this. He went on to say the focus right now is getting back to who they are and playing the brand of baseball that got them to this point. Cedric Mullins shared that similar message, saying the game just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Mullins went on to say he's seen plenty of opportunities for this team to score runs, but they haven't consistently taken advantage of that. And I'll let you guys take that one.
That's okay. Edwards flies out to Valet. Go ahead.
Well, continuing on, so he said, so after a day off like this, a Thursday, a reset, they're hoping that this group can come out refreshed, play cleaner brand of baseball, and start heading to the right direction in which we've seen them play all season, guys.
Kendra, thank you. And she's right on. That's exactly. And you look at the AL East standings. Yes, the Rays were 5.5 up now, half game up, but the other teams are still down quite a bit. Orioles, Blue Jays, and Red Sox. And the line that we've been hearing a lot lately is, if I would have told you June 5th the Rays would be in first place in the AL East, would you have taken it? Of course, we all would have taken it.
Yeah, what the problem is the fan and even, us, people around the team, you get greedy.
Yeah.
You see the big lead, you see all these, the games that they have won, the streak that they had gone on, 21 out of 25 games, they were 21-4 over a stretch, and you get greedy and say, why can't this just continue? Well, again, there are going to be some ebbs and flows to the season, and it's just a matter of trying to shorten that. And like you said, it kind of speaks to the collective mindset of this team. Just very even keel. I think the veteran presences on this team help that. And they know fully what they're capable of. And I think Cedric Mullins said it best. We just need to play a cleaner brand of baseball. Let's clean it up. Clean it up.
I like the way you said, I never thought of it this way. You play 162 of anything. If you and I sat down and played 162 games of checkers, somebody would have a losing streak in there at some point.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
That one gets down off the bat of Sonoha in front of Valade, and the Marlins have their first base runner. Now, a team that you wonder if they'll be panicking or not. This was the shockwaves sent across the Big Apple. Aaron Judge is going to be out for a while, and the question is how long, and no one really knows.
No one really knows at all, and that's what you were kind of talking about right there, my little snake arrow. The Yankees, since 22, have not played well without Aaron Judge in that lineup. And I thought it was worded interesting that he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, but that's basically the period before he gets re-imaged and reevaluated. It almost feels like maybe it's 4 to 6 and they can get him out, get him rehabbed and get him back, or maybe it could turn into something, that's maybe a little longer than 4 to 6. Very, very interesting how that all was worded and how it all came out late last night.
Yeah, during the pregame discussions with Aaron Boone and stuff, everybody for a while was like, we're not sure, we're waiting for other images, we need a little more information. Then you hear the reevaluated in 4 to 6. That could be a very long injury.
Yeah, and reevaluated in 4 to 6.
Right.
So at that point, they're like, hey, everything's looking good. Now we got to get you baseball ready.
Yeah.
That's another, few weeks to a month. So that this could play. And that's, I think, if everything looks good after it's reevaluated. So this could be a really interesting stretch here for the Yankees.
That's a strike 3 call. Jacob Metz rings up Owen Casey, who did not challenge. And that's 2 men out in the inning.
Well, he thought about it. We take a look at our Advent Health strike zone. And right here at the top of it, boy, that comes right back. It is on the edge. Is it up? Is it in? He's thinking. Ultimately decides to leave the helmet alone.
I think that was right at the edge. I'll bet that would have been one of those just barely in the zones. Jacob Marcy up with 2 down. Well, the thing for the Yankees, they are so centered around one player positional, and that player is out. So other guys will have to not only step up. I think that the scariest thing about the Yankees long term is their pitching could be incredible. Their starters, if they get all of them, if Fried comes back, and then if they get into postseason, which is likely, they may not even need that many of their relievers. They could just piggyback a couple of their starters. But we'll see what happens now. It's June, and they're going to have Judge not with them for quite a while. So you pitch very differently to the Yankees then, without that one big guy right in the middle.
And what kind of a toll does it take on the psyche of the team, whether subconscious or not?
Their pitcher, I mean, they're going to have to win low-scored games.
Yeah, the pitching is going to have to. You talk about next man up and a guy stepping in. You're never going to, come in and replace Aaron Judge. But you need that production on the offensive side. You need someone to step up. But I think more importantly, the pitching has to, be as good as it can be. I think the run prevention side is going to become huge.
That 3.07 ERA we just saw on the screen, very, very impressive. But you think about it, two of the guys between Max Fried and Aaron Judge not with him, that is a different group. 3-1, 3-2. But Garrett Cole's been so good since coming back. Rodon's been very, very good. Just watched him pitch well against Cleveland yesterday in a Yankee win. But they lost that series against Cleveland, so it all mixes up, and see what it looks like in a month.
Yeah, and that's when it starts to get really interesting, because you're starting to work your way towards the All-Star break, and then coming out of the All-Star break, you've got that couple of week span where what are the deals, what's going to get done. There's going to be some blockbusters, maybe not blockbusters, but there's going to be some big deals, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the American League, because so many teams have really underperformed, and so many teams are still in it that because it's been such a mediocre start to the season for the American League.
Interleague has been heavily favoring the National League. Look, the Rays themselves under 500 against the National League, even though they got the best record going in the American League.
It's the NL Central.
That's it.
The NL Central bit the Rays this year.
Dragging us down.
How about that?
3-2 pitch, inning over. Rasmussen with a fastball at 97. And Junior Caminero started the scoring in the first. He'll lead off the third in a moment.
Well, the Rays with an early 3-0 lead here, facing the Marlins, heading to the top of the third inning. Let's go back and take a look at a StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud, and that 109.3 bullet off the bat of Junior Caminero, and you can see that ball got deep into the zone right there at the front of home plate, and have to say that he barreled that, Andy. He barreled it the other way. That ball just would not come down. Owen Casey could not make a play on it, and another extra base hit for Junior.
A very powerful barrel once again by Caminero. Is the new pitcher Tyler Phillips. Turns out Gusto does go just 2.
Well, Tyler Phillips, that ERA at 1.63 with the whip of 1.27. Not that that whip is extraordinarily high, but it's higher than you would think a 1.63 ERA would be. But Phillips has been absolutely locked down with runners in scoring position. That is the mix right there. When he's one of those guys too, where it's a little of this, little of that, doesn't really have a dominant pitch, doesn't really establish much. He just tries to keep you guessing.
And Caminero calmly takes a 4-pitch walk to start the inning.
And that's what we were talking about with Tyler Phillips. He has a walk rate that you really don't want to see from a guy who's going to throw a lot of innings. He's at about 4.5 walks per 9, maybe even a little north of that. That's far too many base runners. And that's the thing that you really love about Junior too. He wants to swing the bat, wants to be productive. We just saw the double, but he will take his walks, and he's been taking a ton of them as of late. That is, for me, that's the maturing process of a young hitter who's not trying to expand, who's not trying to make things happen. You don't want to pitch to me, I'll take my walk. Eventually you're going to pitch to me and you're going to make a mistake, and then I'm going to make you pay.
Aranda, who walked his first time, leads the league 38 walks, and Junior's got his 37. So that's I mean, you can only pitch around so many guys, right? If
Right.
you're the other team.
And you certainly don't want to do it to lead off an inning.
Right.
That's when you do want to pitch to Junior. Nobody on.
And then at some point, you're going to have to face Yandy Diaz with men on base.
Yeah.
If you keep pitching around them.
And I'll tell you what, Yandy Diaz, he still continues to maintain that high average, but the power production numbers are bigger for Yandy. So a lot more extra base hits here over the last 3 weeks or so. He's been on a torrid stretch.
I don't know who first called the big three the aircraft carriers, but they really are. I mean, Yandy right there, Aranda and Caminero, that's a threesome that would hit in the middle of 30 lineups in the big leagues. There's Junior, the home run leader for the team still. So after a 4-pitch walk to Caminero, it's 3-1 to Aranda. And ball 4, back-to-back walks to start the inning, and now they got to go after Yandy Diaz with 2 on, none out.
Boy, that'll keep a manager and pitching coach up at night. You can't defend the walk. You give yourself no opportunity.
With those rankings, not many better. How about that for a first pitch out of the sequence? Golden hammer for strike 1.
Well, you figure that's the last thing that hitter is looking for. So if you can get it into the zone, you're able to get that strike 1 and get the jump.
And a soft pop fly to right. Caminero tags, but bluffs. Well, you can celebrate your Dominican heritage at Tropicana Field Friday, June 26th, when the Rays take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Fans can purchase a Dominican Heritage ticket package that includes a seat to the game and a Junior Caminero Dominican Heritage bobblehead. Visit RaysBaseball.com/Dominican Heritage.
That'll be bobblehead number 2.
That's right.
For Junior.
There's Palacios.
The kiddos were at the game when the City Connect bobblehead came out, and so those things are all over the house now, all lit up.
Yeah.
Got to keep turning on. Don't waste the battery. Don't waste the battery.
I get a kick out of watching you in dad mode. I really do.
It's been quite a bit lately.
Yeah, I'll bet. 1-1.
I've been in dad mode for a long time.
Yes, you have. A couple different tiers. There was dad mode 1 tier.
Yeah. Is that good? You have pods of children.
Yeah, pods. That's the word.
Jeez.
2-1. Both of those runners walked. Caminero at second and Aranda at first.
I'll tell you, Richie has had some big hits too. He's been another guy very quietly getting the job done, and obviously had a big one here earlier in this ball game. Got the Rays off and running. How about that? Last 19 games, runners in scoring position. He's been locked down. That overall average at 292.
And the hitters count. Oof, 3-2.
That bat came out of the hand. He's like, give me some of that spray.
Yes.
Some more of the stickum. He's going to take a rip at this 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and everything comes unglued.
Yeah. And it's a called strike 3. Thought about it.
Oh, yes, he did.
But not going to do it.
He did, and then he timed himself out. And you got to do it almost immediately. And boy, this ball looks like it's going to be in. Does it come back enough?
Wow.
Richie, he might have won that one. He thought about it. By then, it's too late.
So close. All right, so now there's 2 out for Valade. Richie couldn't pull the trigger twice there.
Well, those ones that are in off the plate, it's almost impossible.
It is.
Because as we saw right there, that ball started well off the plate in and then it made its way back close to that inside corner. Those are very difficult to swing at.
Nicely picked by Lopez. And the force out on Aranda ends the inning. Ray's got a couple of walks, but still hold on to the 3-0 lead.
$10.99 you can eat.
3-0 in favor of the Rays, but we do have a defensive change. Ryan Valade has gone from right field to left. Chandler Simpson is out of the game. Victor Mesa Jr. goes to right. So when we hear anything going on with Chandler Simpson, he has been removed from the game, and we can only guess for some sort of an injury flare-up or something. And when we find out, we'll let you know. As we go to the home third. And Rasmussen has retired 6 of the first 7 batters he's faced. Lifted to left where Valade makes the play. No rest for the weary out there. Valade gets the put out. 1 gone in the third. The numbers on Esteury Ruiz. Another speedster. Rasmussen doing a good job in keeping the fast runners off base so far tonight. One and one. And beating the Marlins, you can go a long way by keeping the Rabbits off the bases. Wow. Right off Fortes, knocked him backwards.
I mean, right off. That was a direct shot. And I'll tell you, Nick Fortes has taken a beating this year.
Yes.
I mean, he has been so many times. I mean, just the ball finds him, whether he's at the plate hitting, foul tips, fouling the ball off his own leg.
He must have said something to make Kevin Cash smile. Direct hit on the mask. Ooh. How about how that reverberated through his face?
Oh, yeah. You see the skin rip.
Yes.
Ooh. And then you got to do that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one after the other. Poor guy.
He was jumping up and catching balls all over the place the other day against Detroit, too. Amazing how nimble these catchers can be, even after they've been knocked for a loop. And then he catches the strikeout, 2 men away.
Well, that is not a two-strike approach by Ruiz. He got a cutter there moving to the outer half of the plate, and watch how big the swing was. You think a guy that runs well, hitting out of the 9-hole, probably, I mean, what? That's a 3-1 count by a home run hitter. And boy, oh boy, he just comes unglued. The swing gets too big, and you end up missing the baseball.
You wonder with some guys, too, if they have just enough power to get themselves in trouble. He just hit his 3rd home run in D.C., and next thing you know, he likes the taste of it. You want to go deep again.
You know, right there, how about that?
Yeah.
Right, he's 2 for 24 against that cutter, and that was more of a true cutter there. A lot of times what Drew does to the right-handed hitter is he will shape it differently and give it a little bit more depth, so it'll have a little tilt to it. That one right there was like a true cutter that stayed up and stayed flat and was just missed by Ruiz.
Can he control how much depth that has? In other words, if there's a spectrum of slider all the way on
Yes.
one side, cutter on the
Yes.
other side, he can control how much.
Yeah,
that breaks?
absolutely. And
Wow.
not only can he do that, he does do that, and he uses that cutter a lot like a slider, where it's more of a true slider look.
And then that changeup had Liam Hicks reaching and a 3-pitch strikeout, and Drew has retired 9 of the first 10 batters.
Hardware, folks.
Rays TV is presented by Union Home Mortgage. We go to the 4th inning here from South Florida. Look at the skyline as the Rays jumped out to the 3-0 lead, all the runs in the first inning. Mullins, Fortes, and Walls due up against the second Marlin pitcher, Tyler Phillips. Got under it. Will it stay in play or not? Nope. Just a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. And he chased it. Tight breaking ball, and down goes Mullins.
Yeah, you know, the fastball in, and I'll tell you, Phillips has a good fastball as far as the velocity goes. The fastball in forces you to make a quick decision. So he spun that breaking ball so tight, Cedric thought it was a fastball, and then as he committed to the swing, realized, and that's why you saw him talking to himself as he was walking off.
So we saw Phillips loves pitching here, giving up just the 1 unearned run. So no earned runs in his home ballpark. Smashed foul, and 0-2. See if he went or not. Nope. Mark Wegner, the crew chief, will have the play tomorrow for the middle game of the set. Deep at third, played by Shanoha. And the bounced throw dug out by Stowers, 2 down.
That's a nice play there by Sanoha. And, you know, those are the throws that you bounce on purpose. You're just not going to try to airmail it, so you get it going right at that first baseman, cut it short so he can play a 1 hop. That actually has a 2 hop. Degree of difficulty went up just a little bit there. But a nice job over there by Stowers.
Stowers new to first base too. He's been an outfielder.
That's why I had to take a double look at. And
right.
that was Stowers, correct?
Yes, it was. One and one. One and two.
Yeah, you look at Phillips and you look at his off-speed and breaking balls, his split, his sweeper, his curveball, and the whiff rates against them. I mean, 35.6 is the lowest, and that's against the split. The sweeper and curveball higher than that because he spins them so tight, and we've seen that already. That's what got Cedric Mullins. That's what got the second strike on Walls.
Full count. Well, he walked the first 2 batters he faced. He's retired 5 in a row, and Walls fighting with him to try to get Mesa to the plate. That tight curve takes care of Walls, and 3 strikeouts over a pair of innings for Tyler Phillips. Rays, though, still in the lead. Well, you could make your favorite players all-stars. Scan the QR code to cast your 2026 Konami eBaseball MLB All-Star ballot daily, or visit MLB.com/vote. Jam shot hit by Lopez. And he was slow to get out of the box. And one out. Well, we know the Rays have had some pitching injuries. They also are going to need reinforcements at some point, like every team. And how about this guy, B.A. Brody Hopkins? Look at that loose arm action he's got.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you what, just power stuff, overpowering stuff. You saw the breaking ball there, that slider, the curveball, 16 strikeouts, 10 innings in his last 2 games in AAA, limiting the walks, just 3 walks. He's got overpowering stuff, and I saw this most recent start, which would make it the last one, Andy, if I'm correct here. The fastball touched 101. 101.
Pretty legit.
That's pretty legit.
At that arm angle, too.
Yeah.
It's got to be even more tough.
Coming downhill at you.
Yeah.
You think about that kind of velocity and what that does to a hitter and forces him into some really quick decisions, and then you're able to spin the tight breaking balls on top of it. A lot of swing and miss in his game.
We've been hearing about him and Ty Johnson. We saw them both in spring training. Another highly rated Rays prospect. On that list, we just saw Theo Gillen, the outfielder, former top pick, having a great month of May. I'll tell you what, Drew Rasmussen is spinning a gem so far. He's got a bunch of swings and misses on this changeup.
It's becoming a big, big pitch for Drew, and that was a pitch that he barely threw last year. Really didn't start to throw it till towards the end of the year. I think he threw 28 changeups for the entire season, and has really, it's been a pitch. We've seen that with this entire Rays staff. The changeup, if you throw a changeup, you throw it more than you have before. If you didn't throw a changeup, well, you throw one now. I mean, it's been a huge pitch for this staff. And this is what we're talking about, 25 to 26. Yeah, barely used it. And all of a sudden now you see at 10%, the vast majority of those changeups are against left-handed hitters. He's getting more depth, and he's getting more fade.
And the difference between depth and fade is what?
Well, depth is vertical. So you're getting it more. It's more down. That ball's moving down, and fade is to the arm side. It's moving that way. So you're getting more depth. You're getting more fade. That's exactly what you want. That pitch moving down, and like I said, the vast majority of the changeups come against the left-handed hitter. So as he throws that pitch, he wants it moving down and away from those lefties. So they're left flailing at it, and out in front, and they can't reach it. Or if they do reach it, it's a number off the end of the bat, a little 4-3 ground ball.
We saw, there was 2-inch increase on the depth and a 4-inch increase
on the fade.
Incredible.
Yeah.
4 inches. That's the plate. Wow. Well, he's going to challenge.
And he's going to win. That's not a strike. I want it to be a strike. Drew wants it to be a strike. This is not a strike. This ball starts off the plate in, and it stays off the plate in.
You know your stuff.
The ball, Miami has 2 charges remaining.
2.5 inches.
Just does not come back enough. It was a nice job by Fortes. The way that he presented that pitch is what got the call.
So it's 2-2 out to get him again. Foul away. Foul away again off the end of the bat. Edwards hanging in there, and pitches breaking in all different kind of directions, and he keeps it alive at 2-2. This has to be the deepest count 8th pitch of the sequence of the night from Drew.
We're trying to make something happen here in a 2-2 count. How about go back to that changeup?
So he does it.
Has it? Nope. I'm going to stay in.
And backhanded by Aranda. Little flip to first, and Drew beats Xavier Edwards to retire the side. Rays with a 3-0 lead through 4 in Miami.
The Rays still leading this one against the Marlins, a 3-0. I want to give you guys an update on Chandler Simpson. He is going to be out for the rest of this game due to a left thumb discomfort. That is what I was told. As you guys noted, that blade came in the bottom of the third. So we'll keep you updated on what happens with Chandler moving forward. But he is out with a left thumb discomfort, guys.
Thank you, Kendra. Left thumb, which trying to figure out how that happened. Did he get jammed on one of the pitches? He didn't pull both of them.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's his top hand. You know, it's a lot of time you ever see those guys with those thumb guards.
Yeah,
and a lot of that's on the top hand to protect that thumb from.
Ray's first pitch coach Corey Dickerson used to have one that was flying off his hand all the time.
Well, look at right there, Victor Mesa Jr. Got the lime green.
Sanoja throws out the former Marlin. Now Junior Caminero. No. He has been getting himself into better and better counts. And he's ahead 2-0. Doubled and walked so far. Hmm. 2-1. Seems like Phillips can drop that curveball in at any count whenever he wants.
Well, we talked about that, the swing and miss between that curveball and his sweeper. He spins him.
There goes that bat, and there goes the ball, but foul.
Yeah, that ball took off. I mean, running up and in, and that's all Junior could do just to fight it off, and it cost him a bat.
That's the pitch, though, B.A., that he's having a hard time laying off. Pitches that are in off the plate, and there's not much you can do with them except bust your bat.
Especially when this ball comes racing in like it did. Our Orlando Health slow-mo replay. He did a great job of pulling his hands in tight to the body, and even that wasn't enough.
He just can't seem to resist those pitches, and there's just not a whole lot he can do, and he can get himself into better counts even by taking those. But his eyes must light up when it comes close, and who can blame him with his power bat. Another one, and this one will stay fair. Man, can he get to a pitch, and it's his second double of the game.
You know, if you run it in off the plate, you got a chance against Junior. But if you keep it on the plate, because of that bat being so fast, the fastest bat in Major League Baseball, that's why he can get to those pitches. Watch, they're trying to come in. It gets in, and it's up. And look at, he's still able to barrel that. There again, the hands come through, the barrel comes through the zone. Our Orlando Health slow-mo replay, he made the adjustment and was able to get to that one and shoot it down into the corner. So think about the two rockets that he's hit in this game here tonight. Right center field, deep the other way, and then so they're like, okay, you want to go the other way? Okay, we're going to pitch in, and we're going to break your bat, and I'm going to come right back in there. I mean, how many times have we seen this young hitter make those kind of adjustments, not from at-bat to at-bat, but within the at-bat?
Yeah.
Got beat badly with the same pitch one previous. Cost him a bat. And they said, you're not getting in there again, and was quicker to it. Extra base hit.
He's so unique. Little looper, and it gets down. Caminero being sent, and no throw by Marcy. RBI single Aranda. It's 4-0 Rays.
And how many times have we seen Jonathan Aranda manipulate his swing. You know, he doesn't have the fastest bat, but he has got excellent bat control and bat manipulation skills. Look at down and away. Look at how he just changes his swing. That's a ball. That's a ball down and off the plate. He lengthens the swing and just flips it into center field. That's something he's been doing a lot better job of this year too, or I should say more up the middle than he has at any point in his career. And he's a guy who'll hit the ball all over the field, but he's 10% more up the middle this year than he was last year, and that was his previous high. Almost half the balls that Jonathan Aranda hits are through the middle of the field.
And now 44 runs batted in.
And that's why you're able to continue to have the...
Look at that.
Well, yeah, okay. There you go. And Caminero, the 108.7 down into the left field corner, and then 73.1 to drive him in.
First earned run at home this year allowed by Tyler Phillips, too. Oh, off of Phillips. Yandy beats it out, and Phillips is limping.
Yeah, that will be it for Phillips. That was a shot, and you could hear it hit that foot. And you're hoping that it caught more of the bottom of the shoe. But boy, did that get him good.
110 off the bat of Yandy Diaz. You were telling me last game you had one that knocked off your toe and broke your toe. Something like that, right?
Broke my foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fifth metatarsal on my left foot.
Yeah.
On a follow through, got a line drive hit back. You know, and it was a liner right off my foot. It actually ricocheted out into right field, and yeah, broke that. Ended my season.
Does it go numb, or is it just extreme pain?
There was no numb.
No?
Yeah, that fifth metatarsal, and it's the bone that's like furthest away from your heart. It's way out there. Takes forever to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not good.
He's going to try to stay in here. See what this looks like. I mean, he was smiling just a second ago. It's like he wants to stay.
Yeah. Only took the one pitch. Yeah, well, and I'll tell you, I made back up there and was going to try to stay to it. It was my left foot, my push-off foot. And, when I went up and started to push towards home plate, that pain, oh, man, I can remember what it felt like to this day. Yeah, it was
Did they
was
have
not
to
good.
surgically repair or just let it heal?
You let it heal. It was non-displaced. I was very lucky because that did not want to have pins or screws put in that. But it was a long healing process. This was towards the end of the season. I want to say mid-September, maybe early September, because I ended up obviously not being able to pitch in the playoffs. We went to the playoffs that year. Got knocked out. Knocked out by the Cardinals in the first round. But I wasn't able to get on a treadmill and start running again until after the first of the year. It took a long time for that to heal and to get. And then once it did, it was fine. It just took a long time.
Oh, the noise of it.
Yeah. Oh, that did not get any help from the sole of that shoe. That got him right on the outside of the foot. He is very fortunate.
He's going to stay in with 2 on, 1 out. So if you're a pitcher, you can't favor it.
No,
how does it alter your mechanics on the mound?
Well, if it does, if you throw a pitch and it alters your mechanics, then you come get him and you take him out of the game because then you run the risk of hurting your arm. He looks exactly the same, but I can't believe that from where I hit him.
A pop out to third and 2 away, and he just made a great pitch too. 2 out with first and second. It'll be up to Valade, and Phillips fighting through it. Maybe they make better shoes now than they had when you were out there.
No, no. I'm going to tell you what. The shoes nowadays, for the most part, are much lighter.
Really?
I mean, really, they are.
That got him pretty good.
Yes, it did. I mean, if you would have shown me that replay early on, I'm like, there's no way he's staying in this game from where that hit him. So
he's hanging in there.
Yeah, and it has not affected him mechanically at all. I mean, and again, if it would have, you're not going to leave him out there.
And he's still hitting the edges. Valet to straightaway center, but all kind of room for Jacob Marcy, and Phillips works his way out of the inning. Gives up his first run at home this year, and the Rays lead. Today's Toyota trend. Under Kevin Cash, the Rays have ruled the Citrus Series.
Yeah, yes, they have. I mean, across the board, almost 5 runs a game, more home runs, more stolen bases, almost doubling the Marlins in stolen bases.
I mean, if you're going to look at the Kevin Cash era, starting in 2015, the Rays had some so-so years. The Marlins, though, weren't very good. Then the Rays really took off.
Yeah.
Second half of 18 and into the playoffs 5 straight years, starting the next year when the Marlins were still down. So that's where a lot of that got pumped up. But 40-17 is pretty much domination.
Well, not only that, but what gets me about that number is the record of the Rays before Kevin Cash became the manager. They had a losing record against the Marlins. They were 46-47.
Yeah.
Cash takes over, and now 23 over.
Well, the Marlins have had such a star-crossed history anyway. Some obviously World Series winning years, but they have never won a division. Well, the Rays have won 4 divisions, but never won a World Series. Both teams have been in 2 World Series. The Marlins won both, and the Rays have lost both.
Thanks for the reminder.
I know.
Andy. Thanks for that reminder.
It's the one edge they've really got on the Rays.
Yeah. I know we've talked about this before, but when I was with Cleveland and we got beat by them, Game 7 down here, well, having a lead going into the bottom of the 9th inning, had the lead, and they tie it and win it in extras. That flight home.
Ooh, caught off the bat of Sanoja by Junior Caminero. 1 out.
You talk about having to move an arm quick. I mean, Sanoja's like, are you kidding me? Caminero, you've got to be super quick right here at the ready. And then take it in.
Quiet flight home.
Oh, it was eerily quiet. You realize what just had happened. You know, it wasn't a tough loss. I mean, it was Game 7. World Championship. We were ahead in the bottom of the 9th inning. And so to have that slip through your fingers, and then of all things coming from Cleveland, where it's been sports heartbreak forever, and I knew that more than my teammates because I grew up there, was a fan of all that, and then now I became a part of that. Yeah, it was an eerily quiet, horrible flight home.
I mean, no offense to the Marlins, but they were kind of a rent-a-team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they had nowhere near the history, nor the heartbreak history, nor the group in some ways that Cleveland had. Hit well down the left field line, but fading and foul. How long, I mean, as a player, how long does it, at some point you got to get over it, but how long does it take, especially for a Cleveland kid?
Well, you land and, you're resilient. You're young, you're resilient. You say, you know what, that we're next year. We're going to finish, whatever. So you start your off-season workouts, you take a beat, you start your off-season workouts. Well, that was the expansion draft.
Yeah.
And so then I became the first pick of the Diamondbacks. And, all the talk of next year, I was going out west to go to an expansion team and hope to not lose 100 games.
But that is also how you ended up getting your World Series ring.
Right. And to, you think about the 2 World Series that I had the opportunity to play in. You lose on the road in a Game 7 when you're leading in the bottom of the 9th inning and you lose in extras. And then the one that you win is at home in a Game 7 where you come back and win in the bottom of the 9th. You cannot get opposite ends of the spectrum. Yeah. And to have experienced that loss was horrendous, but the win.
And Cleveland's still searching.
Yes.
They haven't won one since.
Yes, they are.
When the Marlins went on and won another one, 5 years later?
Yeah.
Or 6 years later. Ruled foul by Jacob Marcy. And 0-1. To the right side, and Palacios makes it 5 shutout innings for Drew Rasmussen and the Rays. On we go to the 6th. Rays TV is brought to you by Advent Health. You are our priority in a medical emergency. Advent Health. And by Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Beautiful view of Miami, Florida, South Beach. And getting them all set up for us. In a couple of hours, we'll be down there, I guess.
Will we?
Well, we do have a late afternoon game tomorrow. Maybe a little time to, dance a little bit, soak it all in.
Andy, I'm going to promise you one thing. I will not be anywhere near South Beach when this game is over. You and I are going to do an abbreviated post-game show.
We are.
I'm going to get on that bus, and we're going to go back to the hotel.
Well, I've never been to South Beach, but I've heard that there are bars there that don't even open until midnight.
Oh, I believe that.
Have you been down there that way?
Oh, gosh. If I have, I mean, yeah. Well, back in the 90s?
Yeah.
I don't know. We probably went down there. No, I don't think we even went down there during the World Series.
Yeah.
Because we stayed up in Lauderdale.
Okay.
And we stayed at 2 different hotels.
You mean you stayed at one hotel in the first 2 games and one hotel for the last 2 games?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mullins gets into one into deep right. Casey all the way back. And Mullins has hit it out in back-to-back games. His 5th home run of the year, and the Rays extended to 5-0. Cedric Mullins hit one Wednesday afternoon against the Tigers, and now Friday night in South Florida.
I'll tell you what, he gets into this one. I mean, down middle, and he gets underneath it. It's the split. He recognizes it, and the barrel beats the baseball to the spot. Barrel wins.
Yes, it did.
Every time.
Good to see him tapping into that power that we know he has. Homering in 2 straight games in the Rays. 5-0. He jammed him. Fortes, shallow left, dropping quickly. Oh, what a play. Otto Lopez, who somehow avoided Estiori Ruiz. Once again, the home run by Mullins.
Yeah, well, it's a split finger, and it's in the middle of the plate, bottom of the zone. But watch Cedric. The recognition, and then, again, the barrel beats the pitch to the spot. The barrel's going to win. Our Orlando Health slow-mo replay showed you that. There's the carry.
And then a base hit by Taylor Walls towards right center.
You know, I've been racking my brain, Andy, and I think I've been to South Beach once, and it was during the day. I've never been down there at night.
What goes on during the day? Just
I mean,
families and that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's like the boardwalk.
But it's not like the hot spot that you always think of.
No. That's never been my scene anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not a clubber by any stretch.
You were more into the flats, right, in Cleveland. That was your scene.
Well, that was the flats in Cleveland back when, Cleveland had that sellout streak and the baseball team was so. I mean, it was unbelievable downtown.
There we go.
There's the Clevelander. Speaking of.
I guess they're getting it all set for tonight's Friday night party.
Yeah.
Look at that. They're just setting up.
Just starting to warm up.
That's
just getting things going. Yeah, that has never been the thing. But the flats back in those days.
That was the spot.
Oh, boy. The basement.
Mm-hmm.
The basement. That was the spot.
Yang's foul by Mesa to the second deck. To third, to the shortstop Lopez, and they double up Victor Mesa Jr. Don't see too many 5 to 6 to 3s, but that was one right there. Inning comes to an end. The Rays, though, add on with a single tally on a home run by that man, Cedric Mullins. Back-to-back games with a homer, and the Rays lead by 5.
Summer.
Last of the 6th inning, Drew Rasmussen. And the Rays with a 5-0 lead here in Miami. Joe Mack, Esteury Ruiz, and Liam Hicks coming up for the Marlins.
That's now 13 out of 17 first pitch strikes for Drew. So he's doing a great job of controlling the count. That line, excellent.
I'll use your logic. A very good pitcher coming off a rough start is a dangerous pitcher.
It is. Most of the time. You don't see too many clunkers in back-to-back outings. They figure out what went wrong, they make the adjustment, and then they go out and they execute. And that's certainly what Drew is doing here tonight.
Well, we'll see if that trend continues, because, I mean, McClanahan hasn't really had a clunker yet, but Jax, Matz, and Martinez all got roughed up a little bit in their last start, so maybe a good week is to come for the Rays. That's the optimistic point of view.
Yeah, and it should be. Yeah, absolutely should be. I mean, these guys, they're really good, number one. And number two, there's a lot of pride there, and there's a lot of, okay, let's fix what went wrong. And for the most part, it wasn't any of their stuff. It was just the command was off.
Yeah.
You know, the command was off. Steven Matz had one of those starts earlier in the year against the Reds, and that was the last time out. He just was not able to land the fastball to the glove side, and that throws off everything for him. And so just a little bit off that. The stuff was fine. It was just the command. And the same thing really with Nick Martinez. You know, he has been so spot on. You know, he went into that start, I think he had given up 1 or 0 earned runs in 8 of his 11, and 2 or fewer in all 11. I mean, he's been as dominant as anybody in the game. So you had a rough one. 1 out of every 12. Really good.
To Palacios for the first out. Well, you could step up to the plate and celebrate backyard baseball at Tropicana Field Sunday, June 21st. The Rays will host the Washington Nationals. With a backyard baseball ticket package, you'll score a ticket to the game, plus an exclusive Pablo Sanchez bobblehead. Visit raysbaseball.com/backyard. Yeah, 1 out of every 12. You'll live with that. Esteury Ruiz trying to launch on the first pitch. Another first pitch strike.
Ruiz is a hitter that you let his aggressiveness work against him, because he is over swinging at everything.
2-1. Foul ball, 2-2. So using aggressive against him on 2-2 means You put it just off the edge of the plate, make him chase.
Just get it close. I mean, try to expand, but expand close. That one, not real close, and you could even see Ruiz putting his hand out there like, yeah, that ball's way too up. But you see the idea that Drew had. Top of the zone, he's going to come unglued at a fastball, and he's not going to be able to get to it. It was just too far up. So then you do that. And that right there is the example. Like you told you, the cutter, where he will change the shape of it, he just did right there. And he made that a hard slider. That's exactly what Drew did. That cutter is not flat. It doesn't have the look of a cutter. It has the look of a hard slider. Watch the depth that this one gets. He stays on top of it. That, my friends, is not a cutter.
It's a slider.
It's a really good hard slider.
We're asking you before, if he can control how much break is on that pitch, how does he control the break on that pitch?
Well, if you get on top like he did right there, then you're going to get depth. If you stay behind it and a little almost underneath it, then you'll keep it on the same plane or close to the same plane, and it'll take away some of that depth. But it won't take, it'll still cut because you've got the off-center grip, and so it'll still cut, but it'll stay more on the same plane than if you get on top of it, and then all of a sudden then you can create some tilt. So that's what he does.
And on a night like this where stuff seems to be really crisp, he is really controlling the Marlin hitters. Couldn't get that one. Palacios does and makes it a 1-2-3 inning. Drew Rasmussen has been nothing short of spectacular. A one-hit shutout here in South Florida.
Liberty.
Seventh inning now, brought to you by Hyundai. A look inside the Rays dugout, where they lead the home team 5-0. An early lead plus Drew Rasmussen, and the Rays in control as we head to the Hyundai seventh. Pretty good night by Junior. We had it up earlier. The two hardest hit balls of the night by Caminero. One a double to right and one a double to left. Not bad. Took it. It's 3-0. Taken all the way. 3-1. Aranda next, and then Yandy Diaz will follow him. Ball four. All four times on base tonight for Junior Caminero.
Well, let's look at a StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. And this is what you were talking about, Andy. Junior Caminero, that shot in the first inning, deep right center field, the other way at 109.3, and then he got to that fastball in, made the adjustment, got the barrel to that fastball, rips it down into the left field corner at 108.7. Showing that ability to use the whole field, to the extra base hit. We know the kind of power, home run power that he has, 45 a season ago, 14 so far this year. And then that ability to take the walk. And the way that he took that 3-1 pitch, it was almost like, I know you're not going to throw another strike. You're not going to challenge me in a 3-1 count, so wait for it. I'm going to take my walk. And off he goes.
Can you imagine what that could do if he continues this, the way he's taking pitches and recognizing what is and what is not a strike? I mean, the sky really is the limit for him.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, he's a special talent. They just don't come around that often. Big, strong, fast bat. What, 22 now? 22 years old. Yeah. He's still a baby in this game. Still learning how, you know, these opposing pitching staffs are attacking him. And I love the fact that he has shown patience. He hasn't expanded his zone. He will every now and then. He's a young hitter. But for the most part, he will take his walks. We've seen that in the last few weeks more than ever. I mean, he has taken a ton of walks. That's why, you know, well, now let's do the math now. So now it's 20 of his last 32 plate appearances. He's reached base safely. He was 16 of 28 coming in.
It's just nothing short of spectacular.
I mean, think about that. 20 of 32. You're talking about an on base that's up over 600.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what do they say? The first rule in hitting is you got to get a pitch to hit. And if they're not giving him pitches to hit, you just do what he just did there.
He kind of foreshadowed that on opening day.
Yes, he did.
And I remember us, we were all thinking, what team's going to attack him? The way that the Rays lineup is structured right now, who's going to go after Junior? You're going to make someone else beat you. And sure enough, opening day, St. Louis, he walked 4 times.
Yandy Diaz with a base hit to right.
How many times have you said that? How many times have you said that over the last 5-6 years?
I'd love to have a nickel for every time.
Yeah.
For the first hit and for every hit this season, Suncoast Credit Union donates $79 to local nonprofits. Visit suncoast.com/raise for more information. We'll say it again. Base hit right field for Yandy Diaz. And it's 2 on, 1 out. $5-0 is a big lead. Chance for the Rays to put it into the stratosphere. One and one. Look at that.
Well, you've said it at least 30 times this year.
That's right. We're not even halfway down the year yet.
How about that? 55 of the hits up the middle the other way. I mean, that's his formula.
Camanero's going to make it to third. And we'll see how they rule that.
Oh, that's sloppy back behind the plate, and a nice job by Caminero, being alert to that. You'd love to have seen Yandy move up to second base. His pitch just not handled. You got to catch that.
So it's first and third, and look what it does to the infield. Brings them in. And an advantage count here for Palacios. Showing bunt. Oh, what a play by Joe Mack.
And totally redeemed himself, Andy.
Yes, he did.
Well, our All-State good hands replay. Love the idea from Palacios. First and third, 1 out, trying to get that bunt down. Angles that bat, that pops the ball up in the air, and look at Joe Mack stay right with it and put it away. Missed a pitch that he should have caught.
Yep.
Caught a bunt that he probably shouldn't have.
So it's first and third with 2 down. And time call.
We have a ball on the field.
Yes, we do. Out and left. I wonder if it got away from the Marlins bullpen. That would be a pretty wild pitch.
I was going to say that's a pretty bad miss if that ended up on the field.
There it is, William Kempner. I don't know if he had one get away or if it came from somewhere else. Looks like he's next in line. The runners aboard with 2 down. 1 and 1. Pretty good in the clutch.
Well, how about 12 driven in? 12 driven in his last 12 games. Take that all day.
Hit hard up the middle, and it's another run batted in for Valade. Caminero scores. Diaz goes to second. Valade with a great night. 2 for 4, 2 batted in. It's 6-0 Tampa Bay.
Well, another big hit. Another big hit right on right. Another big hit using the middle of the field, driving in another run. And with 2 outs.
So a half dozen for the Rays. And it's looking like one of those nights they've been waiting for after a challenging week. That was it awfully hard.
That's where they get a little misleading.
Because it's on the ground?
Yeah. I mean, if it's a couple feet to the left, that's a routine 6-3 ground ball. So let's not get all
right.
You know, I mean, that you'd love to see. You'd love to see.
Is that a catcher's interference, by the way?
Yeah, must be.
Boy, Mack has had an up and down inning.
Yeah, he really has. He dropped a fastball that he should have caught. He went after a bunt, made a heck of a play on it that he probably shouldn't have got to. And then right here, reaching up for that breaking ball. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cedric let that ball get way deep into the zone and waxed that glove.
It's an error to Mack. Mullins aboard. Kempner's coming in. Phillips is out. Rays had him loaded when we come back.
Start your 30-day free trial.
Rays TV is brought to you by Orlando Health. We make it personal. And by Viva Tequila Seltzer. Grab yours today at Total Wine and More. Flying in over this beautiful part of our state. And the Rays making it more beautiful with a 6-0 lead. Will Kempner is on the pitch now for the Marlins. That's working on Sunday in New York. Rays have the bases loaded. There's the mix on Kempner.
Four-seam fastball, 56% sweeper on top of that. Averaging in the mid-90s with that heater. And impressive considering his arm angle. And you see guys coming down there from the side like that, and you're not usually seeing velocity in the mid-90s. And he can grab a few more, too.
Busted bat roller. Oh. Sanoja over the bat to the ball to first.
Look how far that bat got out into the outfield. You want to talk about sawing a guy off. I mean, with mid-90 fastball, and it just took that bat apart. That bat ended up in shallow left field. And a heck of a play by Sanoja to avoid it.
Like a gymnast over there at third. Over the bat to the ball to first. You could witness Evan Longoria's induction into the Rays Hall of Fame and jersey retirement ceremony coming up this July 11th and 12th. Be a part of the historic Longo Legacy Weekend. Get your tickets at raysbaseball.com/Longo. They're putting that bat back together, I think. Like Humpty Dumpty.
I don't think that's going to be possible, Andy.
I don't either. What are they doing here? They're trying to.
Well, they're getting it. Yeah, they're getting it back together, and add, right there. Got to authenticate it.
That's right. All the King's horses and all the King's men. They put that bat back together again. A 3-1 ground out from Aldo Lopez, and there's one out here in the 7th.
There's the authentication. There it is.
That's how you know.
That's how you know.
QR code and everything.
You can't just you hand that bat was so sawed off, the sharp end. You got to put it back together as best you can.
It's pretty impressive that they were able to put it back as close to normal as they did there. But Nick Fortes is all done with that bat. A rare first pitch strike or first pitch missed. The appeal, it is denied at third. So ball one to Stowers. Oh, and now Fortes hasn't given up that easy. See what he just said? Maybe. Let's see. Nope, not that time.
Toss the first pitch to the ball. Tampa Bay has one challenge remaining.
Close, but framed it well. I have to think, does catcher framing still matter with ABS?
Yes.
Because
Yeah, I think that it does, because maybe it steals you a strike that, you're not really, early in a game, and you're not so confident to challenge it. What about when a team runs out of challenges?
There you go.
We saw, it might have been, it was earlier in the season, but a team had run out of their challenges in like the top of the second inning.
Yeah.
First hitter at the top of the second. Well, now that really does come into play. So I think overall it does, on top of the fact that you only get the 2 challenges to begin with. So I think that there's still a lot to be said for pitch framing and presenting pitches well to that home plate umpire.
Slug way up into the dome for Stowers, but it lands in the mid of that man, Cedric Mullins, and 2 quick outs. Drew Rasmussen has allowed 1 base runner with 2 out of the 7th inning tonight. And 2 out in the 7th. Look at that, only 81 pitches thrown.
Which is exactly why he's back out there for the 7th inning. And if he's able to complete this inning, that'll be 2 times he's gone through 7 in his last 3 starts, something he did not do at all a season ago.
Another first pitch strike, so that's what, 17 out of 22 batters? It's incredibly good.
And he's had 1 3-ball count. 1.
Look at that, 16 in a row. Suffice to say, from your, well, look at that. Well, Kevin Kelly's not even stretching. Suffice to say for you, Mr. Former Pitcher, he's had everything working tonight?
He has had everything working, but again, it starts with the first pitch strike and controlling the count. And then, he's kept this lineup off balance. This is a lineup that has come in hot. They had scored 18 runs in their last 3 games, a sweep of the Nationals. And he just, he at times he's using their aggressiveness against him. At other times, he's just out executing them. You're getting pitches to a really good spot where there's nothing they can really do with them.
Didn't hurt that the Rays got him a lead, 3 in the first today, but he's just got everything working. Full count, 3-2, so his second 3-ball count. Javier Sanoja on deck. $17 in a row for Drew Rasmussen. What a gem. Through 7 innings tonight, he's 1 over the minimum on a 1-hit shutout. All Rays tonight in South Florida, mostly because of that man.
Last summer.
Introducing the new $10 Crispy Parm Pan from Pizza Hut. It's the original pan you love, taken to the next level. That crispy golden brown crust with a cheesy crunch. Try a $10 medium crispy parm.
Season high 9 strikeouts for Drew Rasmussen. I don't know when he's ever been better. 1 hitter over 7 and not a walk to be found. As BA pointed out, just a pair of 3-ball counts. Got the hoodie on. Talking to Steven Matz. All smiles for that man.
I think that signifies that he's done.
Probably. Yeah. Lets the guard down a little. Cam Boozer is loosening up for the Rays, their newest left-hander. He looked very good against the Tigers at home this week. 2 shutout. Why is it that, you're talking about you don't normally see velocity from that angle. Is it because if you throw it with velocity, it'll tend to move too much because you're kind of sidearm?
Well, no, I think it's guys have a hard time. You think about coming downhill and a pitch where you're getting more on top of it and driving that ball through the zone, creating leverage. You're not creating a whole lot of leverage out there. The arm's kind of out away from the body. You're more rotational. And the more rotational you become, it's tough to have tons of velocity. You know, think about the submariners that are going way down there. They even have less velo than the sidearm guys. You're just not able to drive the ball through the zone. That, like I said, that ball's kind of out and away from you. But impressive, the amount of torque and power that we're seeing here from Kempner.
I mean, Kevin Kelly will come from down there, but he'll top it, what, 93 maybe, but second?
Yeah, absolutely. And even that's impressive.
Yeah.
You know, his velocity's up a tick from a season ago. And he's been throwing aggressive. Look, he creates so much torque, his jersey's about to rip down. One more button and we may see NSFW.
Yeah.
May need a pasty or two. I could have used one tonight in the Open. I was way too excited to be here.
Were you really?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty
Go
solid.
back and rewatch the Open, Andy.
I will. Well, the drive across the state just put you in a great place.
I mean, it did. It kind of got me. It got me going.
I think you may be heading to South Beach when this one's done.
I'll tell you what.
Ooh. That's a rising hitter at 97?
Right. That's what I'm talking about. That's different. This right here is the guy you go after at the trade deadline. For your bullpen?
No kidding.
From this arm slot?
And it's in the zone, too.
Yeah, give me 95 to 97 from over there. Sure thing, baby.
Wow. And a strike to Caminero. Look at Junior Caminero on base all 5 times.
97. 97. And Junior, have yourself a night. Wow. Strong. Stays inside it. That ball's running in and up on Junior, and he's able to just throw that ball out into right field.
Sensational night for Junior. Aranda's knocked in a run. And lifts it to left, where Ruiz has it. All right, well, we'll go to the last of the 8th inning. Rasmussen's work is done. 6-0 Rays.
Well, we're going to get this out of the way early. Our Advent Health plays of the game. How about Drew Rasmussen? Base hit here the other way. That's it. That's the only base runner that he gave up in his 7 innings of work. He retired 21 out of 22. What were you saying, Andy? Retired the final 17 in a row. And how about that? 9 strikeouts. Didn't walk anybody. Of course, no runs. As dominant as we've seen him all year long. Better than he was even against the Yankees 2 starts ago.
He was. That day gave up 5 hits, 1 walk. Today, 1 hit, no walks. And 3 more strikeouts as Cam Boozer comes in. His first game against Detroit. Impressive. And then he had a big deficit. Now he's got a big lead.
Triple A's leaning on that cutter, 47%. The fastball on top of that. Then the breaking ball, the off-speed pitch, doesn't use that very often.
Got him with a cutter.
Yeah, and backdoored it. I don't even know if he meant to, but it certainly worked out in his favor. Yeah, they're set up kind of middle in, and he backdoors that cutter. Doesn't matter. He gets a strikeout.
Right at the edge, too. Might have been a called strike. It's just a perfect pitch. Owen Casey, left on left. Rays now 3 left-handers in their bullpen with Clevenger and Seymour. One ball, one strike. Some high heat from the lefty Cam Boozer. Tyler Zuber warming up at the Marlins pen. Going off again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And another strikeout. It's 11 Marlins to go down tonight.
Well, we're going to go with the sweeper here. It was the cutter to Sanoha, the sweeper there. I'll tell you, that's a lot of room and a lot of ground that pitch covers. Gets good depth with it, and you get Casey. Anytime you get a left on left, right on right, you get a guy reaching like that, all out of rhythm, doing something right.
Jacob Marcy's see him hitting at 197 against the Rays in St. Pete. He went 8 for 11 in the series. By far his hottest stretch. 8 for 11
against the Rays pitching
against the
staff.
Rays. Right when they were going great.
And see, I was going to say, the series that you lost, and sometimes you can't make heads or tails.
Yep. Yes, sir. 2-1. Yeah, there it is. Oh, 8 for 13. Well, now with the 2 today, 0 for 2. It's not bad. Last time I looked, a .615 average. 3-1. Close pitch. If Marcy reaches, Joe Mack is next. Well, it's the first walk by a Rays pitcher tonight. Boozer, a 2-out pass. Just the second Marlin to reach base after 19 in a row set down by a Rays pitcher. Now go to work on Joe Mack. So we've seen cutters and sweepers and fastballs so far from Cam Boozer.
And that fits with the profile. You know, then you've got the off speed at 5%, not really going to it right now.
Weapons against both side hitters. And 0-2. Time called. I like that tight shot they just got there on Boozer. You see him take that big, deep breath in, slowly blows the breath out, and then comes home with a pitch. They always say pitchers, you have to control your breathing. Look, he'll take a big, deep breath in. There it is. Under control, but missed. 1-2. Doesn't work out.
Right until the very end, Andy. Everything looked good, very good, until the very end.
You're not going to be perfect.
But that is true. That's where that becomes important, you know, to not allow the game or the at-bat or whatever to speed up on you. And sometimes you get the huffing and puffing and you're working a little bit too quick and you're getting a little bit out of sorts and now you're not executing pitches properly. But if you're able to, and it's a little bit more difficult now with the pitch clock, you don't have as much time. You just got to get into the ready position a little bit earlier.
Just got a piece.
What you do, Andy, the old adage, you control the controllables, and that allows you to continue the momentum.
It's a very good life lesson.
We have just summed up Rays baseball in the last 20 years.
That's right.
But really, at the end of the day, it's true.
It is.
I mean, it really is a truism.
Would not expand with Cam there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You control the controllables. Whether your rent-a-car is there waiting for you or not, there's only so much you can control.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the rental car story, Andy. You're lucky.
Waiting almost 8 innings to get that in. Cam Boozer doing his thing. Strikes out 3 in the inning. And Yandy's going to lead off the 9th with the Rays up half dozen.
Hardware, folks.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Tampa Bay Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Rays TV is presented by Union Home Mortgage as we head to the top of the 9th. And the Rays with a 6-0 lead. Yandy Diaz, Richie Palacios, and Ryan Valade coming up. And Yandy Diaz will say it again. Base hit right field. And he's got 3 hits today. So a single to right for Yandy. It'll bring up Palacios once again. Palacios taking outside. One 1-0 the count to Palacios. 2-run triple got the scoring started for the Rays all the way back in the first. And 2-0 the count to Richie. At the edge. 2-1. Yandy being held by Kyle Stowers at first. The new pitcher Tyler Zuber. 3-1. And the Rays have Cole Sulser warming up for the home 9th. Cam Boozer threw a scoreless inning out there today. And ball 4, and it's 2-1, none out for the Rays. Rays have had a bunch of base runners tonight. In fact, in only 2 different innings had they gone down without a base runner getting on. Ryan Valade's knocked in 2 of them. Tyler Zuber once with the Rays, a little bit in 2024. And the Royals before and the Mets since. So those great Rays numbers with runners in scoring position, and the zeros for the Marlins haven't had anyone past first base the whole night. Now 0-2 to Valade. Three of them. And Valade retired.
How many games did Zuber appear in as a member of the Rays?
That's a great question. I can look it up real quick.
Yeah. Two
games in 2024, but he had a 2.70 ERA.
2 games in 2024. Okay.
Out of play off the bat of Mullins. Cedric homering now in back-to-back games. Wednesday afternoon and then tonight. Way up into the dome, left center field. Junior's going to try, or Yandy's going to try for third, and both runners will make it. And the Rays second and third with 2 out here in the ninth. Tomorrow we've got game 2 of the series. And there's the man that will pitch it for the Rays, Shane McClanahan, and his 2.45 ERA. It's a 4 o'clock game tomorrow. Talking with Hunter Fiducia. You wonder if that'll be his backstop tomorrow afternoon. Tonight's backstop, Nick Fortes, has had an eventful night. His 0 for 4 was robbed of a hit. But right in the middle of a bunch of these rallies. 1-1.
Consistent pressure.
That's it.
Consistent pressure has been put on by this Rays offense.
Starting right away in the first. You think about it, B.A.? Palacios hits that liner to right. If Owen Casey catches it, oof, might be a different game.
Could have been, yeah. That's certainly a momentum boost for that South Florida dugout.
Nick Fortes, a former player here in South Florida, pops out to left, and we will go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Beautiful shot of Miami, Florida, where the Rays are this close to a win.
Friendly, weed deadly.
Well, this is what it's been tonight. Drew Rasmussen leading the way, and he got a lead early. The 2-run triple by Palacios. Big night for Junior Caminero, and the Rays are 3 outs away, B.A., from a victory.
I mean, that's the story. It starts with the Rays offense in that first inning, able to play 3 runs. The big night by Caminero, but Drew Rasmussen, he goes out there, what was a 6-pitch inning in the bottom of the first, and he kind of set the tone on the other side.
Caminero with an attempt, and a fine attempt, but Ruiz too fast. Bunt single, just the second hit of the night for the Marlins.
Yeah, and Junior's like, really? We're going to lead off bunt down 6 runs. But you think about Ruiz, he's been over swinging all night.
Yeah.
So maybe he's trying to just calm things down and lay down that bunt.
So leadoff man on for the Marlins for the very first time tonight. This is Cole Sulcher to try to finish this thing out. Used to pitch with his team. It's pretty good ERA in this ballpark.
How about the strikeouts per 9?
Mm-hmm. Perfect time for Sulcer, a vital member of this bullpen before he went down with the injury. Here's his mix.
Yeah, fastball, changeup, occasional cutter. Not overpowering with that fastball, but his changeup's good enough that it allows that pitch to play up just a little bit.
Yeah, he's got weapons against the lefties. Little softy out to Junior Caminero for the first out.
That was the cutter. That was the cutter that is 3rd in line. Doesn't throw it that often, but boy, was it effective right there. Got just ate up the swing of Hicks. Watch him cut this ball in. I mean, just get off me. No, I mean, Andy, get off me.
I'll stay on this side of the room. Here's Otto Lopez. Well, just like if you're facing the Rays, Caminero, Aranda, and Yandy Diaz, the 3 biggest of the hitters. If you can do that sort of thing with Hicks and Lopez and Stowers and Edwards, you go a long way. And the Rays have done an incredibly good job against all of them. Pop back near us. It's 0-2.
Well, that's what I find so interesting about this guy right here, Otto Lopez. You look at his chase percentage. He's in the top 5% of chase rate. I mean, he expands his zone and goes after pitches. He doesn't walk. He had 10 walks on the season coming in as an everyday player. And that's what the Rays have done against him. They have taken that aggressiveness. They have taken the fact that they know that he will chase, that he wants to swing the bat. He doesn't want to walk. Again, an everyday player, a couple of months into the season, more than a couple of months into the season, he's walked 10 times. But yet he leads Major League Baseball in hitting and in hits. The two usually don't go hand in hand. The Rays have been able to take advantage of that tonight against him.
Makes you wonder if, as the league adjusts to him, if that average will come down a little bit.
If a guy chases at the rate he does and doesn't take walks, it's one thing if you chase early in the count, you can tighten up and take a walk and hit for a high average. But he chases a ton, doesn't walk.
Yeah.
And yeah, that leaves a formula to be taken advantage of. We've seen it tonight.
2 out, bottom of the 9th. Kyle Stowers. The last chance. The Rays have thrown 3 shutouts this season and out away from another. Another great changeup. It's 1-2. Boy, is this the night the Rays have been hoping for after a tough week? Really, after a tough series.
And you got everything going.
Yeah.
Pitching has been excellent. Offense has been outstanding and relentless, and they played good defense. All 3 facets clicking.
A complete night.
Yep.
For the first place Rays. And it's 3-2. And the Yankees just lost at home to Boston. So the lead would go back to 1.5 in the American League East if the Rays can finish this thing off. Foul away. We'll have Rays postgame coming up in just a little bit. There's the scores. Baltimore up big in Toronto, and it's late there too. Orioles would stay 8 back. Toronto would go to 9 back. Foul ball. Yeah, Baltimore, Toronto, identical records coming in at 30 and 33. Full count, 3-2. And they finish it off. A shutout in Miami for the Tampa Bay Rays. And they gain a game in the American League East at the same time. A complete effort by the Rays. They had it all. Pitching, defense, hitting, and early runs. Cole Sulser gets the last out of the night. Part of a 14 strikeout effort by Rays pitching. The Rays 6-0. This final swing and miss to Kyle Stowers puts the finishing touches on a shutout victory, and the Rays have won 3 of 4 against the Marlins this season. Rays postgame